Welcome back here to Sports Den. You guys, hope you're feeling the love this week. Valentine's Day coming up. We certainly are feeling the love in our studio and want to extend it to all of you and all of our teams. Blythe Whaley alongside Matt Dean and our director Ted LaRue. What an exciting time. Matt, do you smell playoffs in the air?
Oh, absolutely. Super Bowl's over. We've moved past football season. A lot of people say that's when baseball season starts. They start thinking about spring training. We're thinking about state hockey and state basketball, which are looming, of course, with still several North Metro TV schools vying for some games of the Big Dance in Minnesota.
Yeah, will one of our ladies hockey teams make their ticket to state? We'll get to find out here later on this week. But as we get things started, out on the ice, taking a look at Elk River Zimmerman taking on our Blaine Bengals. Getting things started early, the goalies have their work cut out for them. Morgan Zank, a big stop for their goaltender, and Addie Bryant here for the Elks, another one. So keeping this clean slate off the mark break for Jaden Peterson. It's scoreless. Now we're in the second though. Johnson in front, able to net the first one. Bengals going up by 1, 11:30 left here in the second. This game moves forward, 5v3 power play for the Elks. Looking to get things moving and grooving. They're able to tie it up 1 apiece. This holds until the third period. Now just 8.5 left roughly, and able to find the net again. 2-1. Costa burying it in front. But this game moving forward here in the third, 7 minutes left. They have the lead 2-1, puck in front and stopped up. Bryant doing quite well there for the Elks, trying to keep this game close. The power play unable to make it happen. 4-4. Again, still this game just has those moments where the Bengals able to clear and keep this game in check with their lead. The empty net attempt can't quite do it. 2-1, Bengals advance from the quarterfinals.
Well, it's my last year, so that's a huge pressure on me, but all I could think about was after every whistle, I would say the time running left in my head and out loud multiple times, so that I know, like, this is it. This is all I have left until Saturday. So that was crazy to think about. But I kept myself calm and collected because the whole team's relying on me, and I know I got to do a great job behind net.
25 saves tonight. Mm-hmm. You looked pretty calm for the most part. Nothing looked too dangerous. What stands out? There were a few kind of Carly Humphrey slap shots that were humming in there pretty good at the end.
I know she's a scary player on ice. You know, we make sure we look out for her, and you know, it's sad to see her go, but I'm glad she didn't get one tonight, unfortunately. She had a few on my head today, so that hurt, but overall, I'm proud of the defense and the players in front of me tonight.
Walk me through that goal that you had that put you guys into the lead. Walk me through the play and then what you were kind of feeling in that moment.
So our captain, Grayson Knowles, number 12, had the puck on the left side of the net, and she made a sweet pass through the girl's stick right on my blade, and I hammered it home.
All right, what about your senior goalie tonight, Morgan Zank? What about her? 25 saves.
She did amazing. She kept us in the game by far. They had a lot of great shots. She blocked headshots. She made great saves.
You mentioned your captain, Grayson Knowles, as well, too, helping you out tonight. How did you guys, as a forward unit, help close out this game? You retook the lead. What was the mentality for those kind of 7+ minutes when you guys were hanging on down the stretch?
Yeah, we did a really good job in our defensive zone, keeping the puck out and to the outside. And when we got in the offensive zone, we set up the play and had many chances and could have scored even more goals.
Yeah.
All right, so the Cougars got their postseason chase started on Saturday night. The top seed Centennial SLP taking on 8 seed Mounds View Irondale. We pick up the action less than 3 minutes into the first. Freshman Madeline Walter with the tip out front, making it 1-0 Cougs 3 minutes into the game. 34 seconds later, Alexis Larson providing the screen, but it's Mia Such, the 8th grader, who scoots it home to make it 2-0 Centennial on Such's 13th. And Such wouldn't stop there, goes top shelf shelf after Hewlin forced it free in the forecheck. 3-0, not yet 7 minutes into the game. How about Grace Lager puts on the Jets and then a disgusting backhander to throw it in. Top shelf, 18th of the season for Lager. That was shorthanded, by the way. Such with the skills, forehand, backhand to finish off a hat trick before the intermission. Cougars weren't done yet in the first. Annabelle Bucciaconi picked up the loose puck. The lefty buries it to make it 6-0. Centennial SLP headed to the second. Best chance of the game for Mounds View Irondale, kind of a fluky rebound up front. Didn't look like much, but upon further review, a penalty shot is awarded to freshman Sarah Johnson. So she's one-on-one with Caitlin Gross, one of the top netminders in the state. A gross move going to the backhand to throw it in. Mounds View on the board. They would turn away a chance up front for Centennial, but Noelle Hemmer would throw it in front, and Such couldn't miss. Her 4th of the game on the tip-in. Cougars again on the rush. It's Lager sniping at top corner. Her second goal, her second shorthanded goal in the 12th for the Cougar penalty kill unit this year. Brooke Hewlin would add another on the power play to add to the final score. Centennial SLP rolls 9-1 in the first round. So that sets things up for Centennial SLP to face North Wright County, the 5 seed, in the semifinal round coming up tomorrow night at the Roseville Ice Arena. We'll be broadcasting it on North Metro TV, and you can watch it on tape delay the following day, so you'll be able to see that on Wednesday. If the Cougars win, they would advance to the section final, try to get back to state for the second year in a row in a likely rematch with Maple Grove. The Cougars have gone unbeaten in 24 consecutive games. Last outright loss was a 1-0 defeat to Maple Grove at home on November 11th. But the Cougars flipped the script with a 4-1 win in the rematch in December. Should be a fantastic game. Looking at 7AA, Blythe walked you through the highlights of the Blaine victory in the first round. 11 years in a row now, Blaine have won at least one playoff game. They were nipped on the road by the 2-seed Grand Rapids Greenway, who will take on the reigning state champions Andover in the section final later this week at Fogarty. Moving on to boys hockey on this side of the ice. Centennial, tough week for the Cougars. Really tough stretch of schedule where they faced the top 3 teams in the conference all on the road and lost them all. Rogers are resurgent with a 5-game winning streak, nipping at the Cougars' heels just behind them in 4th. Spring Lake Park down in 9th after a 1-1 week in the conference. Blaine riding a 4-game losing skid, sit at 11th in the Northwest Suburban Conference, and we're into the final week of the regular season as we look at the boys hockey schedules. Just 2 games left for each of our North Metro TV schools, including a Cat Clash coming up tomorrow night in Circle Pines as the Cougars host Blaine.
Well, we just were on the rink and, of course, saw some awesome performances and just a lot to look forward to of what is coming up. But as we head from the rink, we're going to go to the court, spend our love here to our basketball teams. Starting with the ladies, the Cat Clash, Spring Lake Park traveling to take on Blaine last Friday. As this one gets underway, it's going to be Sophie Teeden underneath, tying it back up at 2 apiece early. Early on, the Bengals pressing. Caitlin Wozniak gets started in her transition baskets. She's gonna have a few, so get ready, folks. Off to the races, here she goes again. Caitlin Wozniak now from the left side, putting it down. Bella Such limited severely here in the first half, but Nussbaum stepping up, putting it down for the Panthers to try to stay in this one. Down by 8 at that point. Now late in the first half, able to punch another one in underneath. This one was Smolich, 22-14, now 34-24. Able to get the and one as this one falls. Exactly what they needed. Inside, out, pushing it to Wozniak. She puts the team on her back, finding it in the lane. Also, with the shot fake and floater up and in, Caitlin Wozniak really all over the court. Defense, offense, she does it all. But inside for Bella Such, a little too late here for the Panthers. Just 4 points on the night for Bella Such. Nussbaum loses it, pushing forward to who other than Caitlin Wozniak. to find it swirling in. This game, final score 48-38.
My team, they work really hard, and yeah, sometimes when shots aren't falling, I try to drive and get more to get the momentum going, and I owe a lot of it to my teammates. A lot of the drives I took, I was only able to get because of post slides, and so yeah, they're a big help, but ultimately, yeah, I feel like in those situations, I do kind of owe it to drive and try to get some momentum flowing, yeah. When we were man, they were getting a lot of drives, so to be able to shut that down with the 2-3 is really powerful, especially when threes aren't falling for them. It works the best, so it's definitely a big part of the game.
In this game, your senior leadership has continued to show. I want to talk with you about what maybe that halftime talk was like. Coach ultimately probably had to say something along the lines of the Panthers did start to creep back as it came to half. How did he help you kind of rally to get it done here in the second half?
Our big focus was, he said that we were doing good on defense and we need to keep it up. And the biggest thing was we were getting a little bit tired and we needed to continue to push and keep going for steals. And then offensively, he said, we needed to move the ball, and even off ball. This is a big focus for us this year. We have to move off ball because offense doesn't work if we're just standing. So even if we don't have the ball, we're constantly moving. So that was a big focus in halftime too.
Yeah, how difficult was it to go against the Panthers when they started to switch it up, going into that 1-3-1 zone? How much talk was that at halftime or even in a timeout throughout this game?
Yeah, their 1-3-1 was really good. Their defense was really good. So it was difficult to switch, but once we kind of got in our momentum of our offense, we kind of got it together and we got on a roll. And our teammates, we work really well together. We pass the ball well. Everyone's really unselfish on our team, and I think that really helped.
Taking a look at that game summary again, 48-38. Wozniak, 18 points. Pelkey not far behind, just at 17. But Nussbaum stepping up huge for the Panthers with 15 points. Trailing close, but not quite far. Kesty at 8.
Yeah, the Spring Lake Park's not going to win a lot of games where Bella Such only scores 4 points. So that really, to me, speaks to the defensive effort the Bengals put in with the 2-3 zone they were talking about.
Yeah, it was definitely huge. I mean, she normally averages almost 18 points a game, so massive difference. But the standings, Centennial sitting in third, just under Andover and Maple Grove, 11-3 in conference, 13-8 overall. But Blaine Bengals just below Champlin Park there, 6-6. 13-9, but you see how important here that win was again. Spring Lake Park 3-8 and 9-13, so helping the Bengals solidify some of those final games. Just a handful left for these teams, and what does that look like? You know, with sections coming up, Matt, it's these head-to-heads that sometimes can be helpful. But taking a look at the schedules here, Blaine going to be on the road, taking on Andover and Coon Rapids on Valentine's Day. Centennial, Champlin Park on the road, and Coon Rapids back at home. And all of our teams having Valentine's Day games. Spring Lake Park on the road at Park Center, and Rogers at home. So fun games coming up. But boys basketball also needs some love from us. We're going to take a look at the Blaine Bengals as they head to Champlin Park last Wednesday. Alvin Payne spinning through the lane, finding a way to cause some havoc early. Champlin Park finding the 3-ball up and in, Armory Peterson. But the Bengals nearly have a 3 of their own. Try once, but if you try a second time, it's gonna go in. Finding it down the stretch. This is Jervis Caros finding the fast break. Champlin Park starting to pull away here. Sinking it, Gavin Walker. The Bengals again out to Alvin Payne. Wreaking more havoc there, this time from the 3-point line. Ethan Pettis fouled and made the 3. Ultimately, a big play for him. Bengals finding it from deep. 8-point game, folks. Jarvin Caros underneath. Pokes this one in. 43-31 at half. Second half. Popping and putting it down. Finding a way to now 13-point game. This one swirling the toilet bowl in here for Champlin Park. 3-pointer with a guy in his face, unfazed. Ultimately, a lot to be said here about the Champlin Park Rebels, just starting to continue to show how important this game was to them, pulling further ahead. Look at that score, 83-58. This one drops as well. just a few minutes to go. Now just a minute 30. This one rolling in. The final score, 97-63, Matt. So you just saw the Rebels just really start to take this game and put it in their pocket, not allowing the Bengals to come back. But Peterson, 17 points. Walter, 16 points. 15 points from Tomoko. You see these double digits from a lot of guys on the Rebels. It's tough to beat a team when you can have that many people in double digits. That list just kept going on, even more than I said. But Payne and Lyon really obviously standout performances for them, 20 and 18. Pettis made it to double digits, just 11, but overall just not enough.
Good defensive effort by the Rebels, holding one of the top scoring teams in the state. Blaine are second in the state in scoring. They would continue their week by taking on the other highest scoring team in the Northwest Suburban Conference as Spring Lake Park hosted Blaine in some Friday night hoops action. Nolan Myron would drop it in from 3, walked off confident as he knew it was going in. A 5-0 Panther run to begin the day. Brock Remy came in leading the conference in scoring, nearly 27 a game, a steal and a flush from the senior would start off a big night from Remy. Pistol Pettis, that's Ethan Pettis from downtown, bringing the Bengals to within 5. Andrew King elevates in transition, splash, a 3-pointer to open up a 9-point gap for the Panthers. 10 minutes left, Alvin Payne attacking off the dribble and one. The hoop and the harm for Mr. Payne. 3-pointers would keep raining down. Junior Ty Buffo. The Bengals would eventually close the gap back to 4. Remy would get into his shot here, drilling it from distance. One of just 2 of his made threes in a big night in the scoring department. Broken play, that's okay for Colin Welch. He's like a jazz musician, improvises to find number 13, Jason Eagle, for the easy score. Remy draws the double, gets it to the cutting King. And then Lane Pettis on the other end here for Blaine, looking like his older brother, who was just off to his right, knocking down the 3. Jordan Lyon never get between a lion and its prey. He scores off the second chance opportunity to make it a 6-point game, and the Bengals still very much hanging around. The King in his court, 22 points, one of his 5 made threes there from Andrew King. Good ball movement by the Bengals, who get it again on another 3-pointer in this one. They're not just a 3-point shooting team. Alvin Payne getting the basket again, 21 points in the game. All of them came inside the arc. Bengals still within 11. Nano Gemta with a nice runner there. And again, the Panthers can't quite pull away as Blaine holds it to single digits. Brock buckets with the spin cycle there. That got him to 35 on the night at that point. He assists on the pass up ahead to Welsh, who finished with 7. The Panthers wouldn't stop, eclipsing 100 on Myron's layup and finishing the game on a 32-10 run.
We knew we had a big size difference coming into the game. Played them the first time, had 65 points in the paint, so that was kind of a big emphasis. We knew they could score, so we knew we had to score with them, so it was just being aggressive on offense and getting stuff to go inside.
Yep, on that note, speaking of being aggressive, you guys attacked the paint early, and that's what you guys did the first time you guys played Blaine at their house. Was that what got you going here tonight?
Yeah, I got a steal, breakaway, dunk right away, and then an and-one layup, so I knew it was going to be a good day around the rim. So it was just attacking and finding everyone else once they collapsed and put up our season high, so it worked, so yeah.
It always feels good to knock down a couple shots. I mean, teammates always find me. I try to find open spaces, drifting corner, drifting up, and giving it to him. They collapse a lot on him. Obviously, has a lot of attention. He kicks to me, so it's good to knock a couple down. So yeah.
Right. You also finished in double figures, over 20 points. What got you going, like the momentum factor? Because when you started sinking those threes, you can see the offense starting to pick up, and also getting looks for Brock.
Yeah, it's all about energy, being aggressive. It all starts on defense. Getting steals on defense, getting turnovers that way, and pushing it and leading it to offense. That's ultimately what helps us go and helps us get big leads. And by having that energy, it helps us get bigger leads and faster breaks. Yeah.
Yep.
A solid 22-point performance from Andrew King, who you heard from there. 5 made threes, but the story of the game, undoubtedly, the 40-point performance from Brock Remy, who comes up 7 points shy of the school record at Spring Lake Park. That was set by Sean Scott, and it tied second all-time in Spring Lake Park history with a 40-point performance. He has 13 boards, 7 assists, and 3 steals, shooting 14 of 30 from the floor, and only 2 of them were made three-pointers in the game. Great shooting night for Spring Lake Park, who shoot over 55% from the field as a unit. Looking at the standings right now, SLP in 5th place after back-to-back conference wins. Blaine had dropped 6 of their last 7 now in conference as they slumped down in the standings. Centennial coming off a loss to conference leaders Totino Grace head-to-head last week. We're down to the stretch in boys basketball. Blaine will have their final section game against Maple Grove. That's coming up next week with games against Andover, Coon Rapids, and Elk River still looming. Centennial just one remaining game in terms of section seeding implications. That will be this week at Coon Rapids to close the week on Friday. SLP with a big one Wednesday against top-ranked Park Center, who are a Section 5 opponent for the Panthers as well this year. And back here on Sports Den, we're, of course, talking hockey and some great performances around the high school ranks right now. But it was a homecoming of sorts just yesterday here in town where we had a couple of alums who grew up playing their youth hockey right in our backyard here at North Metro TV, as Gabby Hughes, a Centennial grad, and Emily Brown, a Blaine grad, both were competing for Team USA over the weekend in the rivalry series against Team Canada. Canada would ultimately win the game yesterday at the X. They would take the last 4 games of the series, but we were able to hear from a little bit of Hughes and Emily Brown. Hughes scoring a goal in that rivalry series, the Lino Lakes native. Take a look at some of the highlights.
It's unbelievable. It's something I've dreamt of since I was a little girl, and obviously the biggest goal is to make it to the Olympics, but this is one step closer to that, and it feels so good, and it's very rewarding, and it's such an honor. But yeah, it's a lot of hard work that's been put into making this roster, and it's all paid off.
Yeah, it's obviously, a huge honor. It's anytime you're able to put on that USA jersey, it's something special. So huge honor to be part of this group, and obviously extra special being able to play in St. Paul to round out the series here.
It's been a long one, but it's been one of the most amazing journeys I've ever been on. Hockey is such a small part of my life, but that journey and aspect of it has been great, going from Centennial, playing there since I was a little girl, then making my way up to UMD and having an unbelievable 5 years there with my best friend, made some lifelong friends there, and then now in Ottawa, and then obviously making this roster has been another step in the right direction along this journey. So it's been incredible, and I've been able to be surrounded by some really great people to help me get to where I want to be.
Yeah, crazy to think about it, but obviously played high school for the Blaine Bengals. A lot of great memories there. Finished up there in 2017, went on to play with University of Minnesota Gophers. Some awesome memories there, 5 years, and then last year was in the PWHPA with Team Sonnet, and this year I'm out in Boston with the PWHL Boston team. Yeah, hockey-wise, I would like to play as long as I can, whatever that looks like, kind of taking it year by year and trying to focus short term, but obviously, with the opportunity of the league, there isn't a real sustainable option to keep playing hockey beyond a few years post-grad, so it's really cool to see that, and really happy that that's an option now.
It's been amazing. I mean, going into the draft, not knowing what city I was going into, not knowing when I was going to get picked or anything it was very nerve-wracking, but it was so exciting. And when Ottawa called my name, I immediately was just absolutely pumped to get there, get settled in. I found an apartment, and I've fallen in love with the city and the girls and the coaches, the staff. It's unbelievable to be treated like a professional athlete. I came out at a perfect time, straight out of college. A lot of girls that are post-grads in this league have clawed their way to have a professional league. That's where they're treated like professionals, and they're finally getting it, and it's so deserving. And now it's just exciting that girls have something to look forward to after college now. It's not over for them. They don't have to travel overseas in Europe or anything. It's right here in the States and in Canada. So Ottawa's been amazing. I'm excited to get back with them here soon and play on Wednesday.
Yeah, to the Blaine Bengals out there, biggest advice would just be, work hard and have fun. It's a game. It sounds cliche, but, stay in Blaine, stay playing. Blaine's a great place to play, and I would just say, work hard, stay the course, have fun playing with your hometown buddies, and it'll take you far.
For my Centennial Cougars, I would just say they're having an unbelievable season this year, so wish them best of luck in sections. but also just continue to follow your dreams and do what makes you happy. I think that's the most important thing for me is you have joy, you have fun, and you're happy at the end of the day, no matter which way the hockey game goes. So I would just encourage them to really focus on that and their love of the game and chase their dreams.
In another type of hockey here on North Metro TV, we had adaptive floor hockey CI. Centennial Cougars taking on Anoka Hennepin Mustangs. The Mustangs in front of net, and they strike first. It's Michael Geske with the first one of this matchup. Tate Morris in front of net, looking to tie it up, and he does 1-1. You guys, last time these two teams matched up, it was 10-2 the Cougars' way. This game might be a lot different as JC Boyce able to net a second one for Anoka Hennepin. And don't put your thoughts on her stopping anytime soon. She puts in yet another 3-1 here. Anoka Hennepin continues to rally as Joseph Lapel nets his first, team fourth, 4-1. And goals seem to be coming in bunches. Joseph Lapel finding his second, 5-1 now for the Mustangs as this one pushes into the third. And TJ Lichtenberg helping the Cougars get yet another on the board. They only had one until then, so now 5-2, Anoka Hennepin leading the way as Tate Morris up top, able to sink it past the goalie. Now 5-3. This one, are the Cougars going to be able to make a comeback? JC Boyce wants to say no, and she does so. 6-3 now as she netted her hat trick of the evening. This one, Hamilton McGrath up 7-3 now. This one roaring, but Abby Pass doesn't just pass, she finds goals. This one 4-8, or 7-4, excuse me. But Michael Geske didn't finish off on that last one you saw from him. 8-4, Geske finding it with 5:09 left on the clock. But JC Boyce continues to show her dominance in this matchup, making it 9-4 and 10-4.
Yeah, what a great way to end the show. Adaptive floor hockey, phenomenal event that they've got going on. They got a great state tournament. I believe it's hosted around the Metro at Bloomington Jefferson every year. And then loved hearing a couple of grads from right around town here talking about the opportunities for women post-college now with the Professional Hockey League. So great with so many great players coming out of the state of Minnesota.
That's true. Lots to be just excited about and lots to be proud about from our teams.
All right, we want to thank you for tuning in to Sports Den from our director, Ted LaRue, our whole team here at North Metro, A.B. Becker, John Chenard, and Shelby Snow. Matt Dean alongside Blythe Whaley signing out. We'll be talking more playoffs as the boys hockey section tournaments all start next week, and we'll be breaking it down right here on North Metro TV.